Mr. Christopher. This is my world, and this is Art Connoisseur with me, Mr. Christopher, where we look at art, folks, together. We look at art, and we talk about how much it's going for. Does it deserve to be going for that much? Where can we hang it? Should it be hung? Should it be burned? Should it be thrown in the trash? Is it worth it? Should it be in a museum? Should it be burned and never seen by the naked eye again? What is going on in the art world, folks? Where are we? That's what I'm here to discuss. And, I'm just doing it through Facebook Marketplace and sometimes other places. The Forest is a museum. The Museum of Fine Arts is quite literally a museum. There's other museums, and whether that's a museum of clocks or a museum of cocks, it's art. It's art. And there is a penis museum out there. I think it's in Greenland. There's a full-on penis museum. Oh, well, it's just got to be museums for everything. Some liberal needs to make money off the government for doing nothing but sitting in a room full of dead animal penises. I don't know, but what I do know is we're going to look at art, folks. We're going to talk about the prices, where we think they belong. Do they deserve to be this much? Should they be in a museum? Should they be burned? Let's get into it, folks. Let's start cruising along. We'll get on the artistic highway, Mr. Christopher, and we'll start cruising along with this piece. It's billed as a close-up of a flower. Now, whether it's a close-up of a flower photography-wise or a close-up of a flower paint-wise, I'm not necessarily sure, but it has abstract paintness to it. I don't hate it, but Mr. Christopher, how do you feel about it? How much does it cost, sir? Please, take it away. I'll take it away, Larry. Thank you. Close-up of a flower, folks. $59 for that piece is a little outrageous. It's got a very mediocre, lame frame. If it's a painting, an abstract painting of a close-up of a flower, I don't hate that. It is okay. If it's a photograph, an actual picture taken of a close-up of a flower, I also don't hate that. That is okay. To me, to Mr. Christopher, the flower represents the beautiful female genital that we know as the vagina. If you don't think that, that's fine. But there's this flower documentary out there. I'm pretty sure it's called Flowers, or maybe Plants and Butterflies. I forget what it's called, but there's a flower documentary out there that is like an aphrodisiac. I swear to you, if you watch it with a woman, things might happen, but I'm telling you, flowers are the female of the plant world. And $59 for this piece? No. $5 maybe. $59 to the right person? Maybe. But I'm not the right person. And if I'm preaching to the right people, I'm telling them right now, you're getting ripped off if you pay $59 for that. But at the same time, and it doesn't belong. If it fell on a museum wall, I'd be like, okay, cool. It needs a new title for a museum wall, but it's whatever. It's like something you'd see in your aunt's bathroom. You know what I'm saying? It's like your aunt's bathroom type of art. But with that said, let's go to the next piece. Staying with the theme of flowers, we're going to go to this piece, which is simply billed as beautiful framed flowers. And they really are beautiful framed flowers, folks. Mr. Christopher, how do you feel about this piece? How much does it cost? Please, sir, take it away. Thank you again, Larry. I'll take it from here. Beautiful framed flowers. Now, you see the frame is beautiful. The flowers painting itself is beautiful. There's one flower petal that has fallen to the ground. It has an apple. It reminds me of an apple tree. The apple falling to the ground. It's not. It's clearly not apples. It's roses, I believe. Maybe it's daisies. Maybe it's lilacs. I don't know. I need to learn my flowers better. But what I do know is this is a beautiful piece going for $30, folks. $30. And the reason I chose to do this piece now is because the last piece was $59. That was a close-up of one flower. Whether that be a painting or a photograph, it was a close-up of one flower. It wasn't a bad piece, folks. But this piece with the frame and just the beautiful elegance of it, I mean, it's a beautiful piece. If I walked into your house and I saw that on the wall, I'd be like, beautiful, elegant, lovely. If I seen that on the wall of a museum, I wouldn't sit there and stare at it and be like, wow. But I would go, oh, that's lovely. And I'd keep walking. Maybe I'd stare at it for about 5 minutes, maybe less. If it's far in the museum and I've been walking for a while and there's a bench in front of it, maybe I'll sit down. But that's a museum problem and not a right now problem. But $30 for that piece after the last one was $60. I mean, I gotta say this is worth it. If I walked into your house that was on the wall, I would see it. I'd say elegant. And if you told me, yeah, I spent $30 on that, I'd be like, wow, what a deal. That's great. So with that said, on to the next piece. Next, we'll go here, billed as contemporary large wall art. I call it the universe in a sprawling spring. Mr. Christopher, what do you call it? How do you feel about it? Please, sir, please take it away. The universe in a sprawling spring. You know, it just looks like what they would say we are. You know, just all these planets go around the sun while the sun spins and we're spinning. You know what I'm saying? In the universe in a sprawling spring. But they just build it as contemporary large wall art. It's like, okay, boring. I mean, I understand, like, beauty is within the eye of the beholder, and, like, even though I give this a title doesn't mean that this title must stick with you and you can give it your own title. I understand that. But, like, again, folks, and I say this all the time, when you're selling art, give it a fun name and you might have a better chance to sell it. Like, if that was being billed as the universe as a sprawling spring, or the universe in a sprawling spring, or is a sprawling spring, whatever words you want to use, it might sell better. $175 for that piece. I ain't doing it. Whether it's called the universe in a sprawling spring or large contemporary wall art, I am not spending $175 on that infant piece. That is a child's art piece. You can disagree with me, but that is a child's art piece. I would challenge a 6-year-old to do just as good. And I wouldn't be surprised when they did. Yeah. So, with that said, on to the next piece. And for the next piece, we're going here, folks, to some Marlboro Reds. I call this piece Cigs, and so didn't they. Billed as Cigs. Marlboro Reds. Marlboro. 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 Anyway, Mr. Christopher, how do you feel about this piece? Would you pay for it? How much does it cost? Please, sir, please take it away. $100 for that piece, folks. $100. And I gotta say, it's not the best painting I've ever seen of a pack of cigarettes, but it's decent. If I had a bar, like especially like a dive bar, a hole-in-the-wall situation, I would definitely buy it and put it on the wall. Though it seems a little too bright for a hole-in-the-wall dive bar speakeasy situation, it still is a nice enough piece for that. $100, I think it's worth it a little bit because in this world, you don't see packs of cigarettes painted anymore. Does Mr. Christopher smoke cigarettes? No, not in 3,000 years. Not in 3,000. I've never smoked. I'm not about it. I'm not about that life. But do I say don't smoke cigarettes? When I was a wee lad, probably. But nowadays, smoke away. Smoke them all. They shouldn't be so much money. It's crazy. It's crazy. And the fact that they are so penalized and so much money makes me think they're not as bad for you as they used to say, or they still say. And I think they're actually good for you, better than you think. And that people, because the government isn't going to shun and shield you from things that harm you, right? They're not going to. Prohibition for alcohol happened because alcohol makes you like a freedom fighter. You're like, I'm going to rise. So that's why they tried to push it away. And probably like some dumb women did something probably stupid. And maybe like a guy did something crazy once. But that's why alcohol prohibition happened. and then it went away. And they probably poisoned the alcohol and changed its alchemy, which changed how it affects your brain. This is government stuff. This is the stuff the government does. This is why it's better just not to drink, because then they can't control you. It's better not to smoke because they can't control you with whatever they put in the cigarettes now. But I've never smoked. That's why I have all my teeth. And Mr. Christopher doesn't drink alcohol either, but he used to before, back in the day when he was a young lad, when he was a young 900-year-old vampire. But now in his years 3,000, he's like, you know what? Maybe I'll slow it down so that I can go another 3,000 years. Maybe the world needs another 3,000 years of Mr. Christopher. Maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know. But we'll find out together. But with that said, on to the next piece. $100 for the Marlboro Reds. I mean, Mr. Christopher ain't buying it, but I don't see it being a bad deal. If I saw that on the shelf at Savers for $5, I wouldn't buy it because I have no need for it. But I would go, oh, that's nice. That's cool. Whoever gets that probably wants that. And for $5, that's fine. For $100, good for you for having the passion of cigarettes that much. Cool. On to the next one. On to the next. Let's keep going. We're almost done. Keep going. For the next piece, folks, we're going here to what I'm calling Bloody Japanese Tree. This is a nice little piece. I like its painting style. Mr. Christopher, how do you feel about it? How much does it cost? Would you buy it, please, sir? Please take it away. $10 for Bloody Japanese Tree. I mean, honestly, it's a beautiful piece. It's very Asian. It has very Asian vibes. The red, you can see the red sun in the corner next to the mountains rising. Clearly, it's the sun rising, the red sun rising. I mean, clearly the bloody tree is just, I would assume, raindrops falling into a river that looks like below it. Or a samurai just murdered a criminal and his blood went everywhere. And it's dripping from the tree. I don't know, but what I do know is that's a very Asian piece. It's only $10. I love it. I just don't want to represent Asian things in my household, not because of racism of any sort, but because I just feel that I'm not connected to my Japanese roots that I don't have enough. And again, this is one of those situations where I would say something like, if I had a Japanese wife and she wanted it, yeah, then I would have reason to have it. And I would hang it above my bed, like behind me above my bed. So my head's here on my pillow and the TV's in front of me. My Japanese wife is like, her head's right here on me. Her head's right here. And she's like looking up at me like, I love my big, strong American man, Mr. Christopher. And I'm like, I give her a kiss on the forehead. And I'm like, I love my little Japanese wife. And then we live happily ever after. But that's a different universe. That's not the Mr. Christopher current universe that he's living in right here and now. But in some other universe, probably maybe, he's buying that Japanese bloody tree art for his Japanese wife. And they're happily married. Maybe they have 3 Japanese American kids. Let's go to the next piece. And for our last piece, folks, we're going here to what I'm simply calling breasts and berries. That's right, breasts and berries. I don't know what's on the tray that she has there, but it looks to me to be berries. So we're calling this piece, folks, and I'll say it again for you, breasts and berries, folks. 2 of my favorite things. Mr. Christopher, how do you feel about this piece? Please, sir, please take it away. $25 for breasts and berries, folks. Breasts and berries. That picture has a very 70s vibe to me. Those are beautiful breasts. Beautiful breasts. $25 for that. I don't hate it. I think I would purchase it for $25. I think it's fine. If I found it on the shelf at a Savers or any sort of flea market store and it was for $5, maybe 10. I personally, I don't know if I'd buy. I have a hard time. I've said this before too. I don't like to have pictures of naked women around. I just find it to be immature, and I feel like people are coming over and nobody wants to see your naked women that you like on the wall. you know? And again, if I did have a wife or a significant other who was a female, I don't know if she would be okay with that. Which is like, whatever, that's your decision. You don't like this, leave. But it's also like, do I have any consideration for the people that I want around? But it's also like, well, shouldn't I be able to be completely 100% myself for the people that are going to be around me? I mean, it's a whole thing, but a little bit of consideration here and a little bit of consideration there, and maybe naked females don't end up on the wall and everybody's a little happy. Or maybe together we're like, we all love naked females on the wall, let's put more up. I don't know. Personally, I mean, that piece could go in a bathroom. That would be nice in a bathroom. I'd put it in my kitchen just because I love cooking and I love breasts and I love berries. So it's three things that go together that I love. So it's like, in a kitchen that would work. $25 ain't that bad for that piece. Very nice breasts. It has a 70s vibe, which I love. I love those things too. I love the 70s. I love breasts. I love berries. I love cooking. I love all these things. So I don't hate that piece. It's a decent piece. $25 is decent for it. But with that said, that's the end of Art Connoisseur, folks, with me, Mr. Christopher. This is my world, Mr. Christopher's world. I hope you enjoyed. Go get out there, get yourself some art, fill your house with elegance and beauty. The walls are bland, folks, and we need to put some art up. You know what I'm saying? But get what you like. Don't try to satisfy other people's visual palettes for them. They can satisfy their own visual palettes. You go out there and you satisfy your visual palette. And if they don't like what you have to do for yourself, let them be. That's fine. That's their choices and their thoughts. Who cares about that? You're not trying to satisfy anybody but yourself, and that's how it should be. And also, if they hate it, let them hate it. It's their opinion, and that's okay. Because remember, folks, beauty is within the eye of the beholder, and you're the beholder that is beholding the beauty. And you shouldn't let other beholders put down your beholding and let that affect you. You can let them put down your beholding, that's fine, but don't let it affect you, because you're just living your natural life, and that's a beautiful thing in itself. So get out there, keep doing the living thing. Have fun. Live, lead with love. Enjoy your life. Look at art. Go buy some art. What else do I have to say? Keep moving forward. Mr. Christopher's world is over. Art Connoisseur. I'll see you next week for movie review and Art Roasting the Dead, and then the next Art Connoisseur, which will be next week. This week's over. This week is, as I said already, we're done here. And if you were where'd it go? Where is it? If you were wondering, yes, I still have my slinky, my stress slinky, and everybody should have one. Everyone needs a slinky, slinky, slinky. Everyone needs a slinky. Yes, they do. Bye. Mr. Christopher, you crazy.